everyone, it is Emily with Play Brilliance, and I am just driving to work. This morning I was learning and thinking about victor versus victim and how we can change our mindset in order to be a victor and not a victim of our circumstances. There are a lot of things that we don't get to control. Where we live sometimes, who lives with us sometimes, who we live with sometimes, right? And so there are just circumstances in our lives where we can feel like we don't have any say in the matter. But we always have control of our actions and our attitudes and what we choose to do in that situation, in those situations, in those times in our lives where things don't seem to be going our way. We always have a choice. And this was a hard one for me not too long ago, where I felt like I didn't have any say in where I lived because my husband's job is really what causes us to move, or landlords selling houses, or whatever the circumstances may be. But living in Las Vegas was not something I really ever wanted to do, and I felt trapped for a while, and I had to change my mindset and say, okay, I actually am not a victim of this circumstance. I can choose to leave. Now, me choosing to leave would mean that I also choose to leave my husband behind or go and do something different, right? And so we might not like the option of the I could, and yet there is where we gain total freedom. Is like, okay, I choose to stay because I choose my family, right? I choose X, Y, and Z because I want this more. And when we can shift our mindset, instead of being the victim of our circumstances, be the victor and realize that things happen. A lot of things happen that aren't in our control because of others' actions, because of different circumstances. And it's how you view things that gives you freedom or gives you bondage. And that's my message today, is what in your life are you feeling like you are a victim of the circumstances? Are you feeling like this happens to you instead of for you? And really analyze what that is, and then be able to say, well, these are my options. If I don't like my financial situation, I could rob a bank. Now, I don't want to rob a bank because I don't want the outcome of, if I get caught, also like honesty and integrity and self-worth and all of those things. But I could choose to do that. If you're tired of being a parent, you could put your kids up for adoption. And I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying there's always an option. If you don't like where you live or you don't like your circumstances, you could leave, right? And so because we actually really do have those options available, it means that we're not a victim to our circumstances, and we are victors. And then being able to also have a positive mindset means that you know that it's not long term. You know that your circumstances, if you don't like them, they're not definite. They're not definite. They're short term. And I forgot my book. Anyways, all right. Well, I've got to get to work, but that is my message today. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. And it is really beautiful out here right now, which is awesome. And it makes me a little bit sad to have to go into work. But again, I choose to do that instead of not make my payments. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.